let me ask you a question. What would you do if you found out that Obama wanted it to honum so Oba wanted it to honum no, the man that you're with or the woman that you're with is now constantly sending money back to Ghana from the West to engage in a virtual ashau or virtual olosho. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kenny Lambert, and thanks for joining me. If you are here for the first time, then I hope you stay with me. I hope you subscribe and stay and comment and also go through the videos. If you're a Ghanaian, especially, then this is your platform. So you stay with me. In today's episode of What is Happening in Ghana, I'm going to cover a range of topics. I'm going to talk about the ministerial vetting that is going on and a number of things. And keep this word in mind: virtual ashau is something I'm going to talk about at the end, and I hope you stay with me. First of all, in the world of politics, this is not happening directly in Ghana, but this affects a lot of Ghanaians, and therefore it is important to make something is going on in the United States that is really going to affect a lot of Ghanaians, such as we have our brothers and sisters that are they are trying to get their documents. Some are also in the process of like sorting things out. Some do not have any hope about how they're going to get their I can't even get my words right. How they're going to get their documentation sorted. And unfortunately or fortunately for some people, Donald Trump is currently the president of the United States of America, and he has signed a number of executive orders that is bringing in a lot of stuff. The Casa executive order, just basically a Nema, the president, America for Constitution allows them to have the president to sign orders that basically enforces itself almost into law, almost slightly bypassing the Senate and all that stuff. But if I am wrong, America for kindly correct me in the comments and let me know how the executive order works. But all I saw was Trump was signing these documents that was basically becoming a ruling situation in America. And one of the things that he's done is he has ordered support, or he's giving a lot of support to an organization called ICE. I don't really know the full meaning of the abbreviation ICE, but what I know they stand for is they are a federal. They are basically like a police or military, or a police and a military, but more and they will be sending a lot of immigrants back home. They arrest or control the idea of arresting a lot of immigrants and send them out back to wherever they came from. And during the time of Biden, from Kakra, it came down a bit. They didn't have a lot of support financially, and their staffing numbers I think was cut down a little bit. But you see, Asa Kosuru Bima, right now they are really like doing a lot. A lot of people are being sent back to their countries, especially undocumented people. Winning Krata, yeah, legit, they'll probably send you back. Talk about that. Our brother Kevin Taylor, in my last episode, I was talking about him. If you haven't watched it, try and go and check out what is happening in Ghana, the first episode. And Kevin Taylor, the same guy, this controversial guy, is now saying that he has a list of MPP people that came through the party to America. They don't have proper documents, and therefore he's going to try and get them sent back home. Oh, and by the way, guess what? You actually get $700 for each person that they get sent back home. 700. And people are going to use it as a business or something like that. So currently, there are a lot of Ghanaians fearing for their lives, worried that they might be sent back home. But it's just that they are not citizens yet, or they just hold a green card, but still they have a bit of a panic situation going on. Charlie say only be America and us will be America, and the person seems a bit more worried or something like that, try and give them some assurance, try and basically like and now bet me if especially if you're not in America and they are there, because in my last episode I was talking about President Mahama of Ghana also appointing some ministers and all that stuff. So currently a lot of this is going on. They are vetting a lot of people to become ministers. They've designated them to certain areas, and they are now going through it. And as a year vetiomo, they have a whole committee that is sitting there from Anapa to Anajua. Some of the names that is going through the current, as I'm filming now, some of the names that are going through the vetting is Sam George and Okudeto Ablakwa. I know Sam George is a very vocal person. He's known a bit in the West because he's been on CNN and a few other channels discussing the LGBTQ bill in Ghana. Very popular. And other people are also going through the whole vetting situation. I'm sure at some point, sometime soon, he will get his full cabinet and then operations will start. But I think things are ongoing. There's something called ORA, Operation Recover or Loot. And as someone SCS, a binder down a terminal, I risk a bit recovering. And if you build on government land and all that stuff, all those stuff will be recovered. So let's hope that one thing that I'm looking out for with this government is that they're going to stick to the plan and said they're going to reduce the number of MPs. So let's hope. I can't cast them wrong. You can't say and there is something that happens in Ghana, or is still happening in Ghana, and this gentleman actually, I'll put a link of his YouTube channel that is created in the description so that you can also subscribe and help him and let it grow, because I think he's doing something tremendously good. And Ghana, for most of the time, bad news really trends, but also on the other occasion of me, I stand for good stuff, and I don't believe in say you should always just talk about the bad stuff just to get some views and some clicks. So if somebody's doing something really good, I like to talk about it. There's a gentleman called Kankam Boadu, and Kankam is a very popular sports journalist in Ghana who is doing really well. Currently, I wouldn't class him as a sports journalist anymore. I'll just say he's a media mogul in Ghana. He's popular, he's vocal. He talks about a range of topics, including politics and everything else that he feels passionate about. But his main thing that he's known for is discussing sports. And Kankam, when he started his show, he brought some guy out. I remember very well, this guy, currently known as Ship Dealer, is someone that he was known. He was a bit known in Kumasi when I was in secondary school back in the early 2000s. He was known in Kumasi, but then his name died out because he kind of made a few appearances on the radio discussing and also like making fun of situations. Like I remember a story about him saying that he claimed that he went to Pope John Paul's funeral, and he was sat next to, as he claims it, Robert Mugabe's right hand side and Bill Clinton's left hand side. This guy has created this image of himself in his head and has projected it, and has become now a personality to the point that now he's popularly known in Ghana as a ship dealer, because he always makes jokes that he doesn't sell cars. He has too much money to sell cars. He sells ships to Sheikh Atani and the other people. And one thing is, everybody needs a breakthrough. And now Kankam has, although this gentleman was there before Kankam came, when he came, gave now what we call ship dealer, he gave him a little bit of a chance to come and do a sort of a cameo in the radio station, and now he's doing really, really well. So yeah, like I said, like he's become a pop, like a feature on his show that on any discuss it with but and so on, man. The most important part, this is where I am then. Or baby out in the court can come the court has given this guy who was back then, as I know him from secondary school, he was a taxi driver. And now he's been given the opportunity to become a known person in Ghana, and he's been like he's doing adverts and other stuff. The bro Funye, but still no, he's given the platform because he had the help from somebody else. So I hope that when the time comes, you find your person that will give you the breakthrough. Because, and kudos to Kankam for helping this gentleman, because yes, Onosene star, and he's funny, he's interested. So I'm glad that somebody has seen this and tapped into it and giving him the opportunity. And I hope Shibdila said, oh, yeah, I hope all the opportunities that are coming to you right now, you grab it with both hands and you make the best of it, because it will not be there forever. Mepawasem, I like your stuff. I've liked it from secondary school. I've liked it from the time that you were talking about Santana and all those people in Kumasi. So I really like what you're doing. I hope you grab it with both hands, because I don't want the situation where in the end you better the collection amount. Say a lot of most people are make you then later night just because they couldn't manage the opportunity that came and they are not financially stable. So that's one thing that is currently happening in Ghana. And yes, with the background of that, let me tell you what is actually happening with these two. They got an award, the Swag Award. And that's part of the reason why I'll put the link in the description, because he talks about it on this podcast, and you'll be able to watch it and find out a bit more, which is really, really interesting. So kudos to you, Kankam, Boadu, and Sibila. Let me ask you a question. What would you do if you found out that Obama wanted it to honum and so Oba wanted it to honum no? The man that you're with or the woman that you're with is now constantly sending money back to Ghana, from the West, to engage in a virtual ashawo or virtual olosho. And when they say virtual olosho, basically means like uh kind of say, in quotes, forgive my language, chasendemi, where people will be omo twa omo no fone omo say ne. And ɛnyɛ mmaa nko a mmarima so yɛ bi a ebi twa ɛno no na, and sometimes ɔne nipa no bɛyɛ video call na wahwɛ na watua ne ka. From what I heard, it is about 400 cedis for half an hour. Now, this lady here is on my screen right now, has organized something in Ghana where, when she started on TikTok, I was there. I used to observe what she was doing. First, not or yet sexual education or share about sex and other stuff. She'll be teaching people about sex and stuff like that. But now, what her main account has become of is she goes live. She has this number of girls that she organizes them, and they will come and they will explain what their service are. And sometimes guys too come in. They come on the live and they explain the kind of service they can provide. And majority of the time, the service they provide are basically ashawo da nka omuga ko gina kwan akobon. We mu no mu nyina kwan akobon ashawo. The lady herself constantly makes the disclaimer that if she catches any of her trainees or the girls that are part of her group, that you are doing meetups or all that stuff, she'll basically banish you from the group altogether. Her point is, instead of you going to stand by the roadside to do a show, then only a man for the video call and ask visa. And or some people don't even do video call, they pay almost like what we would call OnlyFans, but this is like a Ghana version of it, where they will pay and to get videos and pictures of a man and mema or maroro and answer mudi or church or master and answer mudi toys grow and all that stuff. And now back to my question: how would you handle the situation of finding out if the man that you're with or the woman that you're with is engaging in this virtual ashawo? Because that is their form of ashawo. The woman herself says it. I am not degrading her or anything like that. She says it on her live all the time that she did not even know say Ashawo could make you that popular in Ghana. And I think from what I understand when I observe it, and somebody should correct me if I'm wrong, from the way I see it, it looks like she is doing this to get the girls off the streets from sleeping with other people because she sees it that it is a financial problem. And therefore, if you can do it virtually and make money, why go sleep with a number of people and make money? One of these days, I would happily like to interview her and find out why she started this and what was um, the point and what is the end goal of this whole situation that she started. So, yeah. So back to my question. Let me know in the comments what you would do if you find out that your man or your woman is engaging in a virtual shower. The city is doing its thing again. The city is going down again. After the elections, it looks like things stabilized a little bit. Um, it even dropped from before elections, it was almost 21 cities, and it dropped all the way down to about 18 cities, and now is rising again. And currently is about 18.9 cities, which is quite a lot from what it was before. So I don't know whether it is because our economy is now not really stable yet or what is happening, but I hope the new president and his people they try and stabilize things so that our the city becomes a bit better against the pound and also the dollar. Um, in a way, sometimes I think say for prefer that the city is stronger because when they send money home, they would get a lot of remittances and or they would get a very good exchange rate. But it still doesn't help because a lot of Ghanaians they depend on imports, and if they're using the dollar to import the stuff, then that means a Nema Bobe cost. So it doesn't benefit anybody if the cedi is weaker. So I hope things get better. If I was the president, or if I was leading Ghana, one of the things that I would probably like get back into it is to look at how the Bank of Ghana will give people reassurances about how you beat me. I invested in Ghana and the money would be a bit more secure than before because a lot of people were buying government bonds and T-bills and stuff like that to invest back in Ghana because over here the interest rate is quite poor. So we were using that, and that was propping up a lot of the economy. But during the old administrative government of the Ghana, a lot of people were not feeling a bit more secure about government bonds because they introduced this whole situation called haircuts and all that stuff. And now I feel you T-bill or treasury bill now be a problem amount. And I hope this is sorted. They introduce a campaign to reassure people that you can invest in Bank of Ghana and your money will be safe. Thank you for watching this far. It is very important that we keep in touch with what is happening in Ghana. I know currently the reason why I introduced this was because a lot of my audience watch YouTube a lot and they live in the West and they barely watch TV. And, this is how I'll be able to also bring you what is some of the things that is happening in Ghana. I really appreciate you. I've seen the growth in my YouTube channel and I've seen that people are subscribing, and I hope a lot of people more come and join us and we grow. It doesn't cost you anything and cost you share videos now, like now comment here. Me can be business any corrector. You can always correct me without insulting me in the comments. And me that's the past what I do. My name is Kenny Lambert. You can find me on all platforms as Kenny Lambert Official. And I thank you, and I hope you stay with me to the end. Thank you.